Welcome you all to another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast, where we talk about Latino everything. Thank you very much for being here. For the one that don't know and have not subscribed to the channel, if it's your first time checking out the channel, I know you're here for a reason, so go ahead and subscribe today. We appreciate it very much. It's free, and it's pretty premium. That's on you. But if you're not, it's for free, and you'll be supporting us great, and thank you so much. Make sure you comment, like, let us know when you're thinking about the interviews, the amazing examples of Latinos that we're putting out in this amazing platform. So thank you. Today, we have an amazing individual, over 20 years of what he's been doing. He's going to tell us about everything he's been doing. Owner of Ada J.M. Recording Studios, LLC, established in 2016, and also Tru Da Produk, yeah. Audio engineer, videographer, and much more. We have Tru Da Produk in La Casa. How you doing?
Man, it's a pleasure to be here, brother.
We go back many years.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Or when I was I'm about to tell you, I was a little musical back in the days. Well, I appreciate you being here. Glad we got reconnected. Again, I had you in my mind of people that I was like done something with.
Yeah.
And they continue to do stuff. And I was like chatting with them. But so happened to be that we were at one place and, we had to make it happen.
Yeah, definitely.
We are. All right, but first, before we get started today, we're going to start with a segment that I like to call Preguntas Al Chile. Now's the time to go.
Preguntas Al Chile.
Are you ready? Backward or tortas?
Talking about food or women? Okay. Tacos.
Tortilla or flour tortilla?
Man, that's a hard one, but I'm going to have to say flour.
Levitas or pupusas? Food was having buff.
Pupusas.
Mexican coca or sanjarrito?
Mexican coca.
Agua Jamaica or tamarindo?
Horchata.
Salsa verde, salsa
Verde.
cheese. Zero or soy?
Menudo.
Tirando batido cholula and sauce.
Valentina for sure.
Okay. Cumbia or salsa dancing?
Salsa.
Best type of genre to use it to record?
R&B.
R&B?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Singing, it's just people do a little bit more with their voices than just rapping. Anyone can hold the rhythm or cadence, but singing is a different world. Makes you feel something.
What about best type of video to record?
I guess the rap ones, they're fun, except when they're pointing guns at you. Yeah, that's not the fun part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes me nervous. Not that guns are dangerous.
It's the people.
Yeah, that would make me nervous too, bro. Yeah. No. A conspiracy theory that when you heard, as soon as you heard, you're like, man, that has to be true. Or man, that could be true. What could that be? Any kind of theory. Conspiracy.
Probably Bigfoot.
Yeah.
He's got to be out there somewhere.
Something's got to be out there, right?
Yeah.
I think I always show.
Yeah. Or Sasquatch or something. Like there's something out there for sure. Yeah.
So much woods that we don't know about that.
Yeah,
definitely I can see that. When you first hear the word Latino, Latina, Latinx, what is the very first thing that comes to mind?
Just culture, heritage, food.
Do you consider yourself Latino, more Mexican, Chicano, human? Do you care if anybody calls you Latino?
So I'm actually German, Irish, and Mexican. But I would probably say I'm more proud of my Mexican culture side of the family. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and start a little bit of, it's interesting you told me about that German side. I think I remember when we talked about that. So do you know anything about that side, how they got into the state of German side?
Not really. No, not really. For like my parents go?
Yeah.
Well, my dad used to always joke about how he swam across the river to get here, and
He was legitimate. He was
man, I gotta believe him.
Yeah.
It's because like the way he tells it, it's like I don't think you can just make that stuff up. That they swam across the river, floating on his luggage, and that's how he got here. At the age of like 15 or 16.
Yeah. And you think so? He says it like jokingly, but you kind of think it's for real.
It's just that man, like he's not, a man of many words. So like when he says something, it's kind of hard to like not believe it. Yeah, it probably is.
Told you before, coming, and let's go. But yeah, it's like inner tubes or across the river or whatever, run through fences and hide. We should go like,
yeah. And then I came, I guess, about 7 years later. I think he was about 22.
Yeah,
I came to the picture. Yeah.
All right. So you were born. That's awesome. There's lots of you were born because you're here. Okay. So tell me about as far as music. Then when did first you do 20 years in the game now? They're roughly doing it. What was in the first introduction to music? Was it hip hop? Was it any type of music? Why did it draw you to want to do some music in the music game?
It was first hip hop, but then I fell in love with Mariah Carey's voice of all people, and that's what kind of got me more into like how people are able to do this with their voice. So I always start studying other R&B artists, and then probably about 5 years later, that's when I started making music myself. Yeah.
What was your first introduction to that as far as wanting to do it? Like, did you go to YouTube was available for you, or did you have a friend or army? How did you get
the LimeWire at the time? Putting browser on a computer.
You were just downloading programs at that time, or music or
programs, beats, whatever you. But at the time, we had two producers, Eddie Kruger and Explicit, and them guys made the beats. We had another a writer / artist, Dubbo, and then myself.
Okay.
I actually came to the picture because I got kicked out of the house, and he lived a block away, so I just kind of went over there with my head down, and, I talked to him and his dad moved me in, and they were teaching me, the Bible and church and everything, and I was teaching them how to write songs about the streets. So it was,
interesting,
bittersweet.
So you were a little bit of a troublemaker at one time, maybe?
Definitely.
Yeah. So got you kicked out of the house.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a short-lived thing at that time?
It was pretty much for real, because I didn't look back since.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me about your name, your Tru Da Produk. How does it come about? What is it immediately when you go into the house and you start learning about music that you become Tru Da Produk, or does it come up to how did your name?
So a funny story, I used to live by RAT, which is rat, right?
RAT. And Wells initials come from where?
Don't laugh. It's for me, it's still for their last thug. But it's like, you're 15, 16 at the time. What do you really know about thugging? Yes, too. But I thought it was a cool name, so I kind of ran with it. And I visited my cousin in jail, and then I told all making music, and he was like, "Oh, what's your artist name?" So I was like, "RET." He was like, "RET." You know what that means? I was like, "Yeah, well, that's thug." You were right. No, sir. It means you're a rat. We don't stand for that. And the streets are not going to do it either. So I instantly really covered up a tattoo that I made.
A tat, just RAT.
Yeah. Actually, my friend's sister used to tattoo eyebrows. So we used her eyebrow tattoo gun to just put RAT on my arm.
Yeah.
But then I immediately went and got it covered up after he told me that. So
that covered up with the new name, or was it something?
It was just another tattoo, just like a state of Texas,
Something.
Yeah, anything.
Shit. Okay, so, it's like rat. RAT does a run out at 18.
Yeah.
When is Tru Da Produk come about?
So at the time we had a label called Brown and Proud Records.
Like the date.
Yeah. Beautiful man. It was late bunch of guys. But then another manager came in from El Paso, kind of took over, and he just didn't like the direction, some of us where it was going. So we just decided to step out from that. And then we started the Ritter C&T with me and the other two producers. And then after that, of course, I had to think of a new name, So I just remember visiting my cousin after he told me that. One of the last things he told me was, just stay true to yourself. Never change for anyone, and don't let anyone change you. Yeah. And when I was thinking of the name, Tru just came to mind. And then I didn't want to spell it TRUE because then I felt like it wouldn't be unique, So then I just left it at TRUE.
Tru Da Produk.
And then the product kind of came maybe a year or two later. It wasn't just the product off the back.
Mm-hmm.
And a funny thing about that, we all know Snow Da Produk.
Tru Da Produk.
Okay, well, at 2009 Latin Fest in Fort Worth,
Yeah.
I performed first. She wasn't Snow Da Produk then. She was Snow White.
She's Snow White. Yo.
And then it was weird after that show, she became Snow Da Produk.
What was your name? Tru Da Produk?
Yes, it was. Indeed, it was.
Tru Da Produk. What made you want to?
So people always compliment me on their final product. Man, Tru always give me that product. So I just added the product to it.
Okay. Now, just like you experience either like that would be your thing that she might have picked up a little bit on what the name you were. So you were actually like thing before her.
Yeah.
In between.
As a matter of fact, no, I'm lying. It was right after her.
So right after.
Right after her. Like she came on, and then they had like a little intermediate thing, and then we were already waiting backstage. She's walking down. I'm saying nearly we rocked up.
Were you the one that was performing, or was it the whole crew that was performing?
It was all of us. It was about 3 or 4 of us.
So you actually did music too, not just recorded. You actually are performing.
Oh yeah, no, right, for sure.
So the announced all y'all. Somebody can probably hear it.
Yeah,
get an idea.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, now I can't call it. Yeah, but that's I don't believe in coincidences at all. Like I don't. So who knows, man. But I mess up she's with artists.
It's not the product. We all know y'all end up laid down. So the name originated that she actually almost got sued. There's a reason why she changed her name. Like Walt Disney. If anybody knows anything about Walt Disney, nah, they don't play. They have an army of lawyers. Really, anybody, Snow White, whenever they saw cease and desist, all kinds of
So that's why she changed her name.
okay, is it?
She said, I was just to see where she got the product from.
I didn't just see that.
Now, we both spell it different.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. But, that'd be interesting to know.
I mean, a lot of stories just, and like I said, coincidences or not, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So, why do you already have like a crew of people with producers, with engineers, with writers, or and what is that comes to come about to you out in that would necessary to, let's say you have a record or an actual productions, a whole production operation. Where does that come from? Do you kind of sort of see it? You just happen to be there with the people, and that will make sense to you as far as having a label and a production, recording the studio? Yeah. How does that come about? Or why do you have those people?
Well, I feel like everyone plays a way, and if you have too many of one person doing the, or, 4 or 5 people doing the same role, I don't feel like it's going to advance as much. But, like I said, when I came to the picture, at first I was just a songwriter. I wasn't rapping. I wasn't even thinking about making music. It's just these guys were church guys, but they wanted to talk about street stuff in their music, or at least, have some type of insight on that type of music. So I was writing the music for them.
Okay.
And it was just, they didn't know, they couldn't spit it the way that I wrote it. So, well, you do it then. I was like, all right. So then I started doing it.
Yeah.
But then, like, the more I started getting into it, I just started realizing everyone's role. You have the producer who can make the beat. You have a songwriter to help you if you get stuck or come up with good ideas, and then you have an executive producer. Maybe he's not making the music himself, but maybe he's in the back of the room like, hey, maybe you should try this or try that. Or, when you get ready to shoot a video, I'll put some money down for your clothes, or, I'll pay towards your photography or something. So it's like, it's important to have everyone that plays their own role as a team. You can't go wrong with that.
How big the other year gotten? Because you have, if y'all performing already at a fest in Fort Worth, it seems like
yeah.
Stop that or slow that down, or what happened?
Life, man. People start growing up, having kids, starting families. I think I'm the only one of the bunch that just didn't have kids or get married and play.
Yeah. But you ain't getting compensated? Were you getting paid? Were you paid to play? Or
at first it was pay to play, but when we got that manager, he helped out a lot. He was like the Suge Knight. He'd go bully some people into letting us perform and do things like that. But then we would also host like raffle events,
stuff like that to like get some money up so we can go pay for this big show or whatever it is, or big feature.
Got you. Yeah. So at the time, the operation is really not catering to other people. It's just really y'all and the label producing product out, not really putting up.
No, not at the time. It really didn't turn into a production thing for other people until about 2016.
Okay. So what happened in 2016? What is that when MJM Studios?
Yeah. So God rest her soul. My mom passed at the end of 2013, and she was my inspiration. She was the first one to hear the song to say, "No, that's trash, Miko," or "Do better," or whatever. She was the first critic. And when I lost that, I just feel like I didn't have that voice anymore, right? So I feel like I wanted to start a production team.
And we are back. We had a tiny, small, little technical difficulties, but we are back. Before we left, we were talking about, and the reason why this happened is because maybe the subject we were talking about. So from what I've been told. So you were telling me about the name of the studio, MJM, and how it came to be, and you named it after your mother. Again, I'm very sorry to hear about your loss, but you were telling me.
So, I was trying to come up with a way that I can keep my mom's name alive.
Yeah.
And, what better way to do it than to start a business? And so MJM is actually her name, Melissa Jo McGray.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, if anyone knows the logo, it says Recording Estudios, but between the S and the T and U, there's dots in there, right?
Right.
So it separates it.
Yep.
And it's red, MJM Recording Estudios, is your God.
I got you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like it.
And that came from just, being a creator, So we are your God.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay. So at that time, are you fully running it just fully production? You're not doing any music anymore, just strictly providing services for people to record?
So I was still making music, time to time, but just as time went on, I was just more working for other people. I kept putting music out and people just kept asking, well, who's recording you or who mixes it? I was like, well, me. Oh, okay. Well, I got a song, and then it's just word of mouth. Oh, I got a friend or I got a cousin, and it's just people kept bringing me talent from all over the place.
Yeah. How many sessions you think you did weekly? Were you doing it 7 days a week? Were you only doing it at a certain time?
I've been recording 7 days a week probably since 2016.
2016.
Nonstop.
Nonstop.
No.
Wow. How many, just a rough estimate, I know it's kind of hard, but since 2016 till now, how many people you think have passed through your studio, and what are some of the most recognizable names, let's say, here in the TFW area?
Hundreds, man, I would have to say. So during that time was the birth of like Loke G the Don, Scotty Drippin, Isaiah King, a lot of other artists. There's too many to name, but those are probably the main ones that are still doing something. Brown Money Mines, Free My Boy. But yeah. I think Brown is probably my biggest artist right now.
Yeah.
Just because he's getting like the most recognition. We just did some features with D Baby and That Mexican OT. So and those are doing very well.
Was that recorded in your studio? Just his session.
Just his session, and then they sent me the vocals to record, and then of course I got to meet them at the video shoots.
Got you.
That was cool. Yeah.
So yeah, and he's got videos with him too, right?
Yeah.
Both.
Yep.
Okay. That's cool.
We got 2 apiece with them, and then we did 1 with them on it together.
Yeah. How do you their way of recording to you compared to like a regular one artist that doesn't really know much, or like let's say they're established, but just the comparison, like to somebody like D Baby and That Mexican OT?
Yeah.
How can you tell the difference in the recording? Can you really see the reason why they're big and the other people are just not big?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like workhorses, man. They will probably get in the studio and drop maybe 3 or 4 songs a session versus someone who can spend 8 hours on one song. Which is nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with going either way. But the fact that they can come in there and pump out song after song and not one of them is trash just shows the caliber that they're at right now.
Dang, that's crazy. How do you feel like to be able to have those mixes for them to be able to do the song and you were working on it?
Proud, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I can say. It's just a very proud moment, because it's like, we always have this like we make it, when I make it, when I've made it. It's like, but what's your definition of make it, you know?
Yeah.
And to me, that was, I've made it, but this is just the beginning.
Got you.
You know, like I'm finally here getting my recognition and working with notable artists, you know,
Got you.
and just being able to have that under my, you know, my belt, and, you know, hopefully one day have a plaque on my wall.
Was added pressure to know that their stuff, like, was you had to be exit and deliver the finished product, or did you have to send it back to them for their people to finish it up?
No, so the funny thing is, like, I did, you know, do my thing, and I gave them a finished product, and they tried going to other, you know, just to get a second and third opinion, and for whatever reason, mine made the cut.
You
All
made
of
the
them.
cut?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's what's up. All right. So, yeah, that's awesome as far as the name. But you were telling me you went through a little bit of a rough patch, something that happened to you that you just kind of sort of like had to completely pause music for some time.
Yeah.
It might have not been the time. Maybe it was like the end for some people for you. Can you tell me about that? What happened?
So I lost the house that we started the studio at, you know, and I moved down to Austin, and just a bunch of moving around, and, you know, being homeless for a little bit, couch to couch, car to car, just wherever I can stay. And then when I finally decided just to come back to Dallas, you know, that's when I just began my journey again, basically. Had to start from scratch again.
Yeah.
And it took me almost 2 years to kind of get back there, you know.
Were people still seeking for your services? Were they asking
Always.
for you? Always?
You know, but the thing is I was living so far away that just people couldn't, you know, get to me, or where I was living, I really couldn't record there. You know, it was an apartment, more upscale, and, you know, it's just neighbors complaining already, and just, it didn't work out, you know.
So what were you doing for money over there? You were not recording that much, were you? Or was there a place you were recording?
So me and a friend started a valet trash business,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, we was able just to kind of work off that and survive, basically.
What's it called again?
Super Trash Bros.
Mm.
That's the name of the valet trash business. Yeah.
What's it called? The Valley?
Valet trash.
Valley trash?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Basically pick up the trash at your door.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, that's legit. Still,
It's crazy, right? Some
We
people
make
can't
money,
even take
right?
their own trash out, and we'll come pick it up for you. So
there's people out there, these
Yeah.
services. I won't pay, I won't do my own mechanic work. I would definitely pay somebody on my yard. I'm just, sorry guys, that Mexican.
Yeah.
More power to the people that do that, but I'm just like, if I can provide some work for some people, why not?
yeah, definitely.
You know, same thing with me. If I can provide somebody to pick up my trash right now, and there's people that will do it.
Oh yeah,
That's crazy.
definitely.
Okay, so finally, what was the actual chain of events that led you to come back all the way? Like, was it just enough? There were so many people requesting you. You want to come back? But what made you want to get back to Dallas?
So a little bit of both. You know, a lot of people were still calling me and like, oh, I'm in Austin, or I'm in Houston, or I'm in Atlanta, or wherever I was at the moment. You know, and there just wasn't enough business, you know, moving around like that. Although I was working with notable people, it was just, to me, it was like, there's no place like home.
Yeah.
And I figured, man, if I'm going to do this again from the ground up, I want to be back in Dallas. You know, do something for the city.
Right.
You know, because a lot of people make it, they get big, and what do they really do for the city? You know, now a lot of stuff goes unseen that, you know, they don't get to see that side of those artists or those people,
Yeah.
you know. But for me, it was just coming back and building back in my community and going back to where I'm from. You know, I was away for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, so when I finally came back, it was like, okay, what's next? You know, for MJM. And because it, you know, it was my mom's name, it just meant so much to me. I couldn't let it die.
Right.
And I started working in solar business, so I was doing that for a little bit. And it was really that money that led me to buy a studio.
Gotcha.
So now I have a recording studio, got my own spot. You know, I'm no longer working under anyone else. You know, things of that nature. You know, to backtrack a little bit, when I first met Brown Money Minds, he actually, the second day of knowing me, he spent $7,000 on me and bought me everything I needed for a recording studio. Went and took me to a building right after we bought everything and put me in the building right away. And that's what kind of really got it going, you know. But then, you know, we lost the building due to just the building getting bought out. And that kind of put a halt on things for a little bit too. But it was like, nonetheless, no matter what challenge, no matter what was going on, I always found a way to keep recording. I was doing a lot of mobile recording in trap houses, motels, closets, you know, just you name it. I was there.
That's crazy because you still have to like capture good video, good audio, and then hopefully all the sounds behind the sounds,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like not your space, so you kind of like don't have control of it because you
Yeah.
don't know if there's gonna be somebody knocking on the door, walking down the hall, or whatever
Right.
the case might be. So
And you know, some of those songs, you can probably hear some of that. Cats in the back, babies crying,
Yeah.
and, you know, someone cooking, you know. So it was a challenge, but, like, nonetheless, we always gave them the best product.
okay, what's the name? Brown Money Minds. Brown is
Yeah.
Brown, right?
Yeah.
What how is it to you recording him? What is he? He got an interesting flow.
Yeah. So, you know, he used to start off just writing on his music. And then we met an artist named Ghost Boy Slim, and we basically got to work with him. And just watching him punch in, it was just something unique to see. Now, I've worked with only one other artist that can do that before, maybe two. Pachico the Pilot and Nino Raps. They were the only two artists I can see do that punching style. But once Brown saw that, he just kind of ran with it. He's like, well, let me try it, you know. And we tried a couple times, and he just wasn't liking it. You know, he's such a perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
And but the more we did it, you know, it was like, hold on, man, I think we got something. Because, you know, in that punch-in style, you're able to deliver every line a slight bit different, you know, with more enthusiasm, or, you know, whatever you're trying to put into that bar. You can focus on that one bar and not focus on, oh, I got to get 16 bars out, run out of breath, you know, bar 4, bar 6, you know, catching up and just like being sloppy.
So how many of the bars do you think y'all record after y'all made the final cut and break it to it, whether it be 12 or 16?
Well, with Brown in particular, we'll probably do 100 takes,
100 takes.
you know, but it's only 16 that made the cut.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's crazy.
And sometimes more.
How's his work ethic for him? Does it feel like it's the same as that Mexican OT and D-Baby?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Because listening to their music, I can tell that they punch in as well.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think they go in with an entire song written out. Maybe some ideas, maybe bars, you know, stuff like that. But you can definitely tell they're punching it.
Yeah. I know a homie was locked up, but do you have still a lot of stuff? You still have a lot of stuff recorded that
Oh, yeah.
ready to go?
Yeah. We still got some singles coming out. We got a couple videos coming soon. We got my boy KV working on those. So as soon as those are done, we're gonna be dropping
The videos and the songs.
and the songs. Yeah.
Okay.
And we have tons of features. Excuse me, tons of features that still haven't been dropped. So
okay. So yeah, still gonna be continued to, even though he's put away right now, and hopefully it comes out soon. Yeah, still gonna put material out, so keep him relevant.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and not to boast or brag, but in my eyes, he's kind of the face of the Latino rappers right now for Dallas.
I know he was Latino, bro. I know he had the name, but he
Yeah.
did a little guarito for me. I didn't know if he was.
He's definitely Mexican.
He's Mexican.
Oh yeah, that was one thing. You know, when he had to go in, he was like, man, I hope I don't get deported.
Oh, that kind of issue.
But you know, none of
No
this.
disrespect. I'm just saying, like, people will see you in
Yeah,
the system and they'll know.
yeah. But I think he's originally from Terrell. He is from Mexico,
Yeah.
but he grew up in Terrell.
Yeah. From my understanding, yes.
Yeah, and then after I met him, like in maybe 2018, something like that, 2017.
So why after the 2 days you think he wanted to spend so much money on you? Not on you, but just to make sure that he gets his stuff right.
So from my understanding, his big homie just went down, and I think they were recording in the same studio together, because he just got out and homie went in, and he wanted to keep the name alive. You know, the Money Mines. So my friend Ace Pesos, another artist, we met at a video shoot. That's how I met him.
Yeah, I know Ace Pesos.
Yeah. And Peso was just like, man, you know, you're trying to record, you know, Tru's that guy, you know, this is the man. If you're trying to start a studio, this is who you talk to.
Yeah.
So it was just a straight conversation, very short. And he called me the next morning, and that was that. Yeah.
Yeah, I started working.
Yep. Right.
How long did you have that building for?
Maybe about 6-7 months.
That's cool.
You know,
That's a good run.
So it was, for me, it was the first opportunity to have my own building. You know, could I be able to run something like this on my own and things like that? So it was definitely a learning curve.
Is it something that you eventually going to want to do? Something that an actual building?
Yeah,
that you
so
want?
I'm in the building now.
Okay.
You know, I'm renting it out, of course, but I would love to buy a building, maybe a warehouse.
So the ultimate goal is to buy a building.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that.
For
You
sure.
can do either recording and video.
I think I want to do everything, man. You know, anything I can do with visually, you know, or recording wise, like I think I want to get into as much as I can.
Awesome. Let's talk about the videography, because when I met you, you weren't doing videos.
No.
But there was always discussions about like videographers or doing videos or things like that, or maybe some of the people recording or doing videos were a little bit pricey or not enough, or you know, things like that. What made you want to add that to your services?
So the reason I got into it, I had an artist, but you know, fresh out. Of course, when things like that happen within our circle, people bring me talent, right? And at the time, I met a guy named Joe Boy, and after maybe a year of recording, you know, he was like, "Man, I like, you know, what you're doing for me, vocally. You know, if I brought you a camera, you know, what do you think we can do?" And I was like, "I don't know, dude. I don't know the first thing about the camera." You know, but I took a chance on it. You know, so did he. You know, he sacrificed a lot to give me that camera. And I just would constantly watching videos, you know, trying to learn. And then lucky for me, I have Prophecy and KB in my corner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I started out with those guys, you know, when before they picked up the camera. You know, when Prophecy was rapping. A lot of people don't know that.
Prophecy was rapping.
Yeah.
KV was not. KV was carrying, helping carry equipment for Prophecy years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Year before he even touched the camera.
Yeah.
I remember one of the videos he recorded for some people of mine. Yeah, he was not even grabbing the camera yet.
Yeah. At the time, KB was actually shooting a video at my house where we started the studio for Jelly Bean. And I saw Prophecy make a post. And I was like, KB, stop what are you doing? Go talk to him. This could be an opportunity, man. And he went, and that's that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But of course, you know, nothing taken away from KB. You know, he put in the work. He put in the hours. You know, he's a beast at what he does.
Yeah. He has his own style.
Oh, yeah.
Different from Prophecy. He has his own way of
Definitely.
doing it. You can tell the difference. You know, the technique is different. The look is different. So anyways, so he brings you the camera. The gentleman, the rapper brings you the
Joe
camera?
Boy. Yeah. So he brings me the camera. You know, we shoot our first video. And of course, I didn't know the first thing about setting up a scene, lighting, like none of that. But I was like, man, we need to reenact a scene of something familiar. So it just, we know how to maneuver this scene and how to work the camera.
Were you asking advice from Prophecy and them, or you just kind of sort of played it?
So the first one, I just did it. You know, second one, I think I just like still kind of run and gun kind of thing. But then as I was watching the videos, and I'm just like, man, something's missing. You know, then I would ask Prophecy questions. And, you know, he'd teach me the importance of lighting.
Oh, lighting is super important.
Yeah. And, you know, just treatment on the video and coloring.
What does treatment mean? I always get lost in that. What does the treatment mean?
So it's more or less like setting up everything about the video. You know, it's conversating about the colors of the video, to the scene, to what's going to be happening, to the position of the people, to, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's just the whole rundown of how a video should and will be. You know, of course you get surprises and some things get done like on the spot, but most of it's like pre-planned out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So after that, what is your very first video? Is that for that gentleman that
Yeah.
Joe Boy?
Joe Boy.
My bad, homies. I just take a while to get the names.
He did change his name to Joe Cliff, Texas, but you know, I would always remember.
I like Joe Cliff, Texas better.
Yeah.
I remember that quicker.
Yeah. When we did that, we basically changed his image. You know, we went from just shooting mostly just him to like, okay, now you're Joe Cliff, Texas, you know, let's work on your image more. You know, it's involving a model, a good place to shoot, you know, good cars and things like that.
So you get involved with artist development as well, if they are so asked?
Oh, yeah.
You like, hey, what can I do better? Or
yeah, and you know, there's, you know, whether people know it or not, there's always going to be a piece of me in every video I do, every song I record, because people always look to me when they get stuck on something. Hey, Tru, what do I say next? Or hey, what do I do with my hands? Well, is my face up good? You know, like they're always coming to me to like, you know, pep them up to do better or to do something different.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. So that very first video comes out. What do you think about it when it's done?
I loved it and I hated it.
Why?
So I feel like, you know, we got the scenes down, right? But I don't like, just again, the lighting and, you know, not knowing exposure and things like that. You know, I knew a little bit, like I made sure to watch some videos and stuff, but I wasn't 100% satisfied. But I always go back and watch that video just to remind myself like how far I've come.
What is the camera you were working with at the time?
I still have the same camera.
What is it?
Sony 6400.
Yeah.
Now the only difference is another lens.
And then,
you know,
bro, the hustle for these cameras and the lenses. Not the damn camera. The
No,
camera's
that's the
pricey, but all the additional stuff that you put on those cameras,
Yeah.
that's the real hustle.
Yeah.
That's like
thousands of
thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Costs like 2 or 3 times,
Bro.
the camera.
Thousands of dollars in lenses.
Yeah.
It's freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Whenever they were telling me about it, like, bro, it's not even the camera is a hustle. Yeah, it's pricey, but everything else is extra. Like everything that you can add to it is freaking expensive.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I've been fortunate enough to I've always learned to work with what I have.
Yeah.
So
That's Latino in you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like when you met me when we first started recording, I don't know if you remember, but it wasn't much. And to be honest, it's still not much. I just changed out the equipment. That was it. Like I'm a simple man, but I learned to use what I have and to max it to its best ability.
Yeah.
But it doesn't come with not studying, not learning, all those late nights.
By you studying and learning, do you mean going to school or just is it self-taught? Is it lessons, things that you learn from messing up and just doing better?
Oh, it's definitely a lot of trial and error.
Trial and error.
I haven't gone to any school for it, but I did have a friend, Rhythm DM3.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
He did go to school.
He did go to school.
Yeah.
And he would send me books. He would call me and we'd have 3-hour conversations about what he learned that day. Another friend, IQ.
Yep.
IQ Music.
Oh, yeah, I know him too.
He went to Full Sail. So, just very insightful, and I was fortunate to have those guys in my corner,
As you were having conversations with them, was that everything making sense at the time? Or even though you were doing stuff, you were recording, you were doing something, all of a sudden, whenever you were having conversations, you turned out that you was doing it the right way, or maybe it turned out that okay, maybe you need to do this better. There's a reason why you're not getting this.
Well, after talking to them, it helped me learn where to polish up. What really was a turning point for me when a audio engineer from Sony came to my house in the hood,
Really?
feet up on the couch as if it was his place. He was really comfortable, and he just took a look at my equipment and made 3 or 4 little tweaks and was like, "All right, man, you got it from here."
What brought him over? What
I was working with an artist, Joey the Bull.
I know him too.
Yeah, and
Joey
Joey
and all these people.
was actually living with me at the time.
Really?
Yeah, I let him live with me. And he called his engineer and was like, "Hey, I want you to meet Tru. He's going to be recording me. You're going to be mixing and mastering my stuff. I think y'all should meet." So he came down from New York, stayed a couple days. We met, and like I said, it didn't take much. He just took one look at my equipment, made a few tweaks and was like, "All right, man, you got it from here."
My thing with I think when I was recording with you, my thing for you was I always wanted the mastering part to be
Yeah.
super good
Yeah.
compared to industry standards.
Right.
How far did that come? How far you come on that part?
Very, because what I called mastering then, it was still mastering, but it's nothing compared to what I know now.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of studying, people like 40, Drake's engineer, mixed by Ali, just bigger guys that have these Grammys and plaques and stuff. So it's like, I would always wonder, all the artists I work with make great music. Why are we not in the top 100?
Mm-hmm.
Why is Drake and, Nicki and all these people just constantly being in the top 100? Why are we not? Our music's better than theirs. At least in my mind, thinking that. But it all boiled down to the master.
You can compare the industry's tracks to your track, and you
Oh, yeah.
kind of sort of know if you're there or not.
Yeah.
But it makes a difference though, because when it goes to the masters, they want to hear that quality.
Oh, yeah. And-
You can get by for a while,
Yeah.
not being there, but
Yeah.
eventually it has to that sound has to be that crisp, that loud, and it don't get distorted, and just everything sounds smooth. Every word sounds this, and everything sounds A1.
Yeah.
So
that time that I spent in the studio that me and Brown got, during that little 6-7 month period, it was a dark time for me. I was homeless living there. No one else knew but Brown.
wow.
I would act like I'm leaving and then come back,
He caught you one time.
Yeah.
He said, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah. But, he was cool with it. I had nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
But during that time, I was studying frequencies and what they do to the brain and how they coincide with music and how can I put them in my mix.
Have you ever heard the term earworm?
No.
Oh shit. So there's another Valley of the King.
Okay.
I got to interview him before Valley Kings did away.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about earworms. So there's little sounds that get in your head that they put in, whether it be a phrase or sounds.
Yep.
And those are the little things that are like make the difference in the song.
It truly does.
To where the hook, and he just gets in there and never gets out. But it's repetitive from another familiar sound of something that you might have not realized, that like a jingle from back in the day.
Right.
And you some way put it in there, but it's familiar to you because you know it from like you know that sound. Like I know that sound.
Yeah, that's from somewhere.
Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
A song and you hear like that's something so freaking familiar.
Yeah.
Or the things that they do, like for example, Bad Bunny does his little ad-libs things, and then later on you hear another artist like Karol G have this little subtle
Something
similar ad-libs in there. I'm like, is it Bad Bunny? Like, no, it's Karol G, but all those things makes you remind you of some of his songs.
Definitely nostalgic.
Little things like that.
Yeah.
That you can add, that people add in the music and stuff like that you'd be like, why is this sound familiar? It was probably a freaking jingle you used to sing back in this when you were little, or a cartoon song or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, all those things.
Yeah.
And you can put it to the production, they can make a big difference. As to, have you done any of those things? Have you experimented with any of
definitely.
those?
Yeah. 'Cause, you know, I made beats for almost 12 years. And
Yeah.
Just one day decided I wouldn't do anymore. But during that time, like, yeah, we definitely be like, okay, you know, what from back in the day could we sample? But it's only going to be so small of a part that we're going to make a different sound out of it and see if people will pick up on it.
Even if it's just the tempo, bro. Even if it's just the cadence.
The cadence
of it. And you'd be like, it sounds familiar.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, anyway, he was telling me about the earworm part. That's kind of sort of the thing that be like, huh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes a little piece just sticks with you and you're like, damn, I like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or, hey, why does it sound familiar? You know, that's pretty cool. So mastering to you now, as far as like, and he wasn't ever a complaint. I think you could do better. I think the sound itself could be better. Where at the time when we were doing it was years ago, by the way. But I'm like, you just need that. You need that kick. You need that pop. You need that feeling of it, because you can tell whenever the industry songs are out, and you can feel, even makes you feel a certain way. Why? Because that part just needs to be refined, retouched, and make it to where it's just like that for your artists. Right?
Well, yeah. Well, what made me dig deep was when artists took their songs recorded at my studio to a radio station, and they say we can't play it. It's not matched.
I remember that.
And I was like, huh. I spend 6 hours doing it. Okay, what am I doing wrong? I'll just get back to the drawing boards, get back to studying, figuring out what I needed to do better. You know, because they have this so, you know, quote unquote industry standard.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
What is that? Who made those rules?
Yeah.
And what, you know, exactly goes into it to make it industry standard. And I always try to, like, you know, go against the grain. I'm going to make my own sound. I'm going to make my own wave, you know, which in a way I still do. But now I know that there are certain boundaries, and you have to stick within those boundaries to make
as far as the sound quality, right?
Right.
If you put it on the radio, it just has to sound pleasant to everybody else. If you put it in the club, it just has to sound pleasant to everybody. And certain things don't distort, right? It makes sense, right? Why they wanted to, because the way they explained to me whenever I was in the radio and people wanted to play tracks and it wasn't masterable or whatever, is because if they're listening, let's say they play a Dr. Dre song,
right,
and then following up is independent artist song, and it's like Dre's right here, and then the other song is
it's not there.
It's maxed out all the way, and it's just it's not clear. It's not, you don't get that feeling, the same feeling that you were listening to.
Right.
So you have to turn away people and tell them that you have to work on that. Because I was there before. Bring songs and these are like, nope. Well,
Nothing we can do. Sorry.
I never guarantee anybody anyway. I got songs played.
Yeah.
And I told, but it wasn't me. I just suggested, like, hey, I got this artist. They send me the song. Let me know.
Yeah.
Like, I know they need work. Man, try, bro. Yeah, we'll play it.
Nope.
Yeah. Some got played. I'm like, oh shoot, that's cool. They liked it. They liked the quality. They liked that it was good. They liked that it sounded up to par with everybody else. So So
man, the first time I heard one of my mixes on the radio, it was like a drug.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, how do we get the next one on there? Who do we need to talk to? And fortunate enough for me, two of my good friends are now hosts at 97.9 and K104.
Yeah.
So, you know, soon y'all gonna be hearing a lot more from our artists.
Accomplice?
Yep.
And who's the one? Okay,
Space Boy first.
Yeah, Space Boy.
I had music with both of them
Yeah.
before, like all this, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Me and Compass go way back. I know that. And the Space Boy, I ran into him a few times. That's
Cool cat.
I mean, radio's still cool. Don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing against it, but when's the last time you listened to radio?
I don't know. I like listening to my work. You know, I have a few of like my favorite.
It's still an exciting, nostalgic feeling
Yeah.
to be able to hear your song be played on the radio. It really
Yeah.
is. But not to issue on the radios, but everything's on streaming. Everything's on Spotify, Apple Podcast.
Yeah, you don't really need a radio anymore.
You don't need it hardly ever.
Yeah.
And then you have other stuff that entertain you, whether it be videos, entire videos. YouTube's for free.
TikTok.
TikTok,
That's addicting.
short videos,
Yeah.
So, but Jay Cruz did say something very important, which was if everything was to go down, internet and everything, you'll still have radio.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, how's that going? But until then, I mean, not to devalue what it is, but radio is not what it was, and it's not going to be. And
No.
they trying to keep pushing, just like they're trying to keep pushing malls to make a comeback.
Right.
Bro,
It's
how
not
many
gonna work.
freaking trucks of Amazon do you see running around?
Right.
Packages that people receive.
Yeah.
Well, why would you want to go to a mall? You have everything in your ear.
You
can
got
order
Shein
right there.
now and all these other places. It's like, you know.
What's the point of going to a place to what?
Yeah.
You know? And then not to mention, there's always some kind of shooting somewhere, so why you want to go out there?
Yeah, nah, I'm in the house.
I'm just saying, all
Yeah.
those things kind of being gone, will be gone. They'll
Yeah.
stay around. There's a lot of people that still have a radio. They'll listen, but for the most part,
Right.
but I always have my Bluetooth connected to mine.
Yeah.
And listening to probably YouTube. I spend more of my time on YouTube than anything.
But then now when you turn on the radio, it's like it's the same song. You probably hear the same song almost any time during the day that you turn the radio on. The same song.
It's all on purpose too.
Yeah, of
How they
course.
gonna make your song your favorite song if they don't play it and force it on you over and over and
Right.
over and over?
Yeah.
Yeah. It happened to me. I don't know if it happened to you. Panda song. First time I heard it on the radio, I get in
God.
my car and it was playing and I was in the radio that I'm like, really stupid song. No, it wasn't Panda. It was I'm in love with Coco. OT.
Yeah. Okay.
So, wait, okay, whatever. And next time I get in the car, I can sing something like, oh man. 3-4 times after that happens, I'm in love.
Right.
Bro. It's all good.
You know what? Word for word now.
Put people on game like, bro, you need to check out the song. But it works.
It's called programming for a
It
reason.
works. It works.
It does.
You put it over and over and over, and it works.
Yeah.
And that's the other time about songs. You have to create those songs that
Timeless music.
people don't understand the game of music that they missing, right? That there's a lot of labels they buy streaming farms to be able to boost up their songs.
Yeah.
Because just like anything, like us people, if you see a video that has 1,000 views, man, but if you see a video that has 1 million streams, 2 million streams, 3 million streams, all out, let me check it out.
Yeah, you're more
Just
inclined
for
to
the
listen.
numbers.
Yep. Yeah.
And you're more likely to click on it.
Yeah.
The labels buy stream farms all the time. It streams all the time. Independent artists, how many times did Master P went and buy his own freaking CDs?
Right.
Thousands of them.
Yeah.
So he can be up there to where certified gold, certified this. The reggaetoneros done it too.
Oh yeah.
They bought their own. They went out and bought all their CDs themselves.
Yep.
So they can be categorized as gold because you get more. Oh shoot, they went gold.
Right.
All this stuff is manufactured.
Yeah.
Certain songs you have to have a good song, but at the end of the day, everything else, as far as the music business,
Yeah.
it's not just about the production part.
Right.
It's about putting the word out, of course.
Yeah.
But then everything else is all the other stuff that this gets manipulated to be like, oh, this is the song.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy how that works.
Man, money talks.
It is. When it comes to music, again, you definitely you're doing a great service to the people to get a great product, but any other artist that wants to blow up, I know there's like the one rare person that maybe one song escapes and all of a sudden it becomes a bigger thing.
Yeah.
But it's like 1 in a billion compared to everything else that everybody's pumping in, all those labels or independent to get those numbers so we can be like, oh, let me check it out.
Oh yeah. Man, I've seen people who I worked with for 10 years plus still in the same position. Other artists.
How much money are they investing in it though, right?
Right.
It's about investing money at the end of the day. Like you can say you're the best this, you can say you're the best artist, you're the best whatever, blah blah blah, and believe it because you need that, right?
You have to.
Now, how consistent are you dropping music? Are you dropping every month? Are you dropping every 2 months?
Right.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that. You have to be consistent with that and quality stuff, right? So
Yeah.
now you put in song every month and quality work, right?
Yeah.
And then how many videos are you dropping on it? How good are the videos?
Right.
It takes a lot of money to make music, and
Yeah.
it's not for everybody. Now, if you're not doing any of that, and you're not doing anything else, being on interviews, being on whatever, being seen all the time doing something, then just like you said, TikTok, people will forget very quickly, fast if you're
Oh, yeah.
always in their face. Okay, now you do that. You get all down. You get all that down. Now the look. How do you look?
Right.
If you're an artist, if you want to be make it into the business of being an artist and being a hip hop artist or whatever kind of artist,
Yeah.
you can't post your stuff doing any kind of regular work.
Right.
Because the disillusion of the people, some people like that, but there's rare the person that doesn't want to see you just as an artist. And like, even that's why you think they changed that thing. Why you think you have to have the change? It's like the uniform. for
People don't
rappers.
take you serious if you don't have a chain.
But it's a uniform for the rappers, right?
It is.
It makes a big difference when you have a bigger chain and you look the part, right?
Yeah.
Now you look fresh. Now you look the part. Now you have the chain. Now you have the product, the videos and everything you've been doing.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about shows. People want to get put on shows all
Yeah.
the time, and they this and that. But like you talked about earlier, we pay to play. That's cool. Maybe you have to do it. But
Yeah.
there's models, Instagram models that can have 20,000 people, but you put an event, they can bring 10 people.
That's true.
Same thing with artists. If you don't have a cult following, people that really mess with you, always interacting, real people,
Right.
not bots,
Yeah.
because there's bots.
Oh yeah.
And you know when your account's been flagged and all of a sudden you lost your account
Yeah.
for whatever reason, mysteriously, you can't
know
log in
what's up.
because you got hacked. Bro, we know what happened.
Yeah.
You couldn't pay. You couldn't pay. They took your account and now
Yeah.
you lost it. Okay. When you generate people that really mess with your music and let's say you're going to perform, you can bring 100 people to start off after you've
Right.
done that run of everything else. Then you start,
Yeah.
then you're making, and then you're still probably going to have to pay for venue and everything else.
Oh yeah.
Maybe ticket sales, maybe you make something like that, but at least you brought 100 people in there
Yeah.
to see you
Yeah.
get down.
But I think the most important part, like, especially with social media, is interacting.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many artists that they'll get commented on and things like that, and they just won't respond back. Even if someone's like giving them a good compliment, you know, it's not always positive.
Yeah. You have to. You have to be able to be still approachable.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And I think that's what the problem is with so many artists. They're so thug, so street, so G that they won't show that side to people.
The social skills go a long way, bro.
Yeah.
I know you want to be mean mug, you want to be toughest and everything, but you know, being nice takes you a long way. It gets you further than being
Yeah.
the mean person, whatever.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So it's a whole deal to be an artist and be successful and be able to do it. It's a lot of money.
But I will say people have it a lot easier now than before.
Oh yeah.
I have an artist that records on BandLab on his phone and puts his music out like that. Sounds great.
Really?
I don't know how he does it.
How good is it? Like as far as to your ear?
For my ear, it won't be put on the radio, but it'll jam a nice mixtape.
It could be a good like a rough draft for something in the
Yeah.
future if you ever want to go see you.
Yeah, and a lot of artists do that.
Yeah.
You know, some of them actually they'll put out that version on Spotify and everything. You know, make their own covers, do all that. But I do have some that will come like, hey, I've been working on this idea. Let me show it to you. Okay, this is what I'm going for. All right, let's do it, and then we'll record it in the studio. Bring it to life.
That's cool.
Yeah.
See, that's different.
Yeah.
But again, it's so easy to make music now that you can do it on your phone.
Oh, yeah.
The cover out and put it on
Yeah.
without having master
Nope.
mix and on your phone.
Just like that.
Just like that.
But now, like, even in those apps, like, they have like so user friendly, one button touch magic. AI is becoming the next big thing right now.
Are you concerned with that at all for you as far as what you do?
No,
Why is that?
because there's nobody that can do what I do.
Okay. Not even the machine, not even close to anything that you're able to.
We've tried it.
Yeah.
We've actually tried it. Like,
it sucks right now. How long ago though? Because it's getting better every freaking day.
I mean, probably within the last year or two, we
Yeah.
tried it a couple of times, and I mean, we like what we get back. Of course, it's gonna do a good job, but it doesn't pay attention to the detail that we're able as humans to do. You know what I'm saying? We can look at frequencies. We can look at wavelengths and know what to do with them. AI doesn't
Yet.
yet.
This is what I'm saying. So to you,
I'll be gone by then.
So the years of experience and everything that you don't feel like you just at that moment can get to where you know what to do.
Nah.
And then of course there's a human level too, right? Because
Yeah.
even a machine, I don't know if we were able to duplicate feelings and emotions and things like that.
Right.
Like the way that a person does.
Yeah, because there's even like AI songs that they're using dead rappers' voices to do entire different genres.
Yeah, the who was the one that sued? I think it was Drake or Bad Bunny or something. They made a song and it went super viral.
Drake,
They got
I think it was
upset.
Drake. Yeah,
They got upset.
Yeah.
They sued them.
Yeah.
That was funny. Though.
I mean, which they should have.
They should, but I'm saying it's hilarious that you can make songs that sound just like that.
I heard a Boosie set it off in a 1950s version, and I'll tell you what, I'd rather listen to that version.
Really?
It jams.
Really?
It jams, bro.
I'm gonna go look it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go find it.
Bro, and they have like,
set it off
Set It Off.
1950.
bro, it sounds just like as if we lived in that time, and they said everything word for word. Didn't change nothing about it.
What about the sound quality?
Sounds like it was recorded in like the 50s.
Yeah.
It's
You
great.
got that little crackling like it's playing on a vinyl.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Sounds perfect. I grew up in that era of music, so I appreciate that.
vinyl's still a thing.
Oh, yeah.
These days. It's
Yeah.
still. By the way, artists, if you don't know, the reason why you want to do it in vinyl or get to a point where the vinyl is final sales, there's no returns on vinyl. That's what they do.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
it's crazy what they do. It
Yeah.
makes sense. All right, before I let you go, we're running short on time. All the services the MJM Studios, recording studios offers. What is all that anybody can reach out to you? I'm going to put on information in the description. But if they want your services, what can they expect, and what are the services that you offer?
Anything from vocal recording to voiceovers, commercials, soundtracks, mixing and mastering, beat production, you name it. If it's anything musically or visually you need done, we will work that out for you.
Awesome. All right, and tell me what is there a particular secret for you as far as how long the longevity for you? How long you've been doing it for? What made you stay consistent? What made you keep pretty much clientele's coming in? I mean, I know you like to people bring you new talent, but
Yeah.
you have to be able to do something to be able to be seeked for your services. So, what is the key to staying longevity for you?
Keeping the passion, because it's like I get asked often, maybe someone else is in the room from another session, previous session, and we're recording another artist. And that artist leaves and they ask me, dude, he was trash. How did you do that? Like, what do you mean? I was like, well, I take pride in my work. My name, my brand is on the line just as much as theirs. So, I'm always going to give my best at all times.
Awesome. Give me all your social medias. Where can people find you? Is there any particular projects that you're working on? I know you said Money Miles, you're going to be dropping some music for him, but I don't know if any other artists you're working on, or yourself, anything else you got going on?
Social media, Tru Da Produk. That's TruDaProduk. It's spelled a little different. So it looks like product, but that's how it's pronounced product.
In French, that's how you pronounce it.
In français.
Français.
MJM Recording Studios on Facebook or YouTube, TikTok. Like I'm on everything. You can Google me and you'll pretty much find everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Is there a website you have?
I do.
Yeah.
MJMRecordingStudios.com.
Awesome. Shout outs, any shout outs you have?
Any and everybody who come to me for any type of work, and even outside of that, they all know who they are. Shout out to my boy Easy. He's a beat producer at MJM, so if you need beats, y'all know where to shop with.
Awesome. And you have the homie too, Cheer.
Yeah, that's easy.
It's easy. Oh, that's easy. My bad, bro. Easy Pro. I remember the other part of the name.
Yeah. I mean, there's I could name everyone, but it's a long. I have thousands of clients, so but they all know who they are. You
recorded that, you know who you is.
Yeah.
You know who you is.
So shout out to you guys.
And what is an important lesson that you learned doing the music business that you would tell your younger self that will help somebody else out? What would that be?
Be more selfish.
Be more selfish. We talked about that.
like sometimes you want to look up to others, but you really do have to look up to you, because how else can you help other people if you're struggling?
Yeah.
Or how can you be more efficient in helping people if you're not all the way 100? You know,
I learned that the hard way, and still, you know, sometimes struggle with that even till today.
Shout out to the people that don't think you're friend anymore because you couldn't help them anymore because they're done drain you out for everything they could, and now all of a sudden, one favor you couldn't do no more. You're the worst person ever.
Yep.
How it goes. Bye to y'all too, fools. I don't need y'all. Something I say usually, sometime during my day, throughout my day. I'm not immortal. I am mortal, and I will die one day. That's not to scare me, to terrify me, anything like that, but it's a reality in life, right? We're not here forever. Our time is limited, but that makes me hurry up and do things, right? It helps me focus and just keep doing things, right? With that, I wish you a long, long, prosperous life. However, after everything's said and done, what do you want people to think and feel about your life? You never gave up. Awesome. That's it. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, bro. Again, bro, I've known you for years. Fun fact, I recorded with him when I was doing my music thing many years ago. And I've always been solid, always been a great person, willing to help, always open-minded, even if you know what you was doing, to take, like, let's say, my criticism of, like, the mastering that I wanted to be more. I think it could be better because I just know that of everything that I was listening to other places, it'd be like, but I always knew you could do it. I always knew that, because you always had that. You always had that passion. You always had the determination to get better. You were like, you were not sitting on your waist to be like, oh, it is what it is. That's what you get it, and that's it.
I'm forever a sponge, man. If I can learn something, I'll always continue.
And that was always appreciated for you. And anybody that records with you, they should be able to expect that you're always willing to learn and be open to receive things so you can get even better. That's ever since that time. I remember many times we said doing recording for people that be like, oh, wow, that's cool that you did. And again, it wasn't because just me. It was because other people was telling me, like, hey, you need some more, And I'll come back like, hey, fool, they're asking for more. It needs to be on the radio. They're not feeling it. They'll play it, but, you know, just let them know we need more. And like, okay, cool. And then, again, it's always a great thing. Since the first time we met to the times we ran into each other to work together, you always been, like, again, a solid person, nice person, and great that you're passionate about doing it and continue to do it. And it's amazing to me. And without a shadow of a doubt, Tru Da Produk, you are a global manufacturer. Thank you so much for being here, sir. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks for having me, brother.
This was another episode of the Global Latin Factor Podcast. Remember to subscribe. What you waiting for? I'm playing with you. I'm going to find you. I swear I am. I got AI now on my side. Don't play. Anyways, and remember that we are just like you. We are people. We are human. We are the spice in this melting pot that it is. So until next time, pass. Thank you very much for checking out this episode of the Global Latin Factor Podcast. Make sure you go and subscribe to the channel and check out one of the other episodes that we have prepared for you. Thank you very much. Till next time.
Walks like a pedo, but in fact is a flamingo. Coming to Havana and refracting.